Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's Tech Bites. We have a great session planned for you today. We're going to be talking about how you can improve backup security and incident response with Veeam's strong partnership with Scality. I'm Kirsten Stoner. I'm a technologist on the product strategy team here at Veeam, and it's great to be here with you today. I'm also joined by my colleague, Aaron Murphy, and Field CTO at Scality, Candida Velas. I think I mispronounced that wrong. I'm sorry, Candida. We practiced. But let's start with Aaron. Aaron, for those on the stream that don't know you, would you like to introduce yourself and give us a little bit more about your role here at Veeam?
Thanks, Kirsten. Yeah, I'm the field CTO for the Americas, which means I get on an aeroplane a lot. I'm based in New Jersey, which I know you wouldn't get from my accent. I've been in the USA 9 years, but I've kept my strange British accent. And I've been doing backup recovery and security for 25 plus years. I'm not gonna give you any more than that. I don't want to date myself too much, but thank you. I'm so pleased to be here.
Awesome. And welcome, Candida, to Tech Bites. Candida, before we jump into the presentation, would you like to tell the audience a little bit more about yourself and what your role is at Scality?
Definitely, Kirsten. So the pronunciation is Valois. I'm Candida Valois. I'm the field CTO in Scality. I'm based in here, well, in New York City. I also travel a lot. So today I'm in Houston, Texas. I have been with the company for, I think it's going to be 10 years end of this year. So it has been a while doing software storage across different industries.
Awesome. Great. Thanks for that. Like always, we want to make sure we're hearing where you're watching from. So let's try and populate the map all over with green. So be sure to drop a comment on where you're watching from. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. Aaron said that he is in New Jersey, and Candida joins us from Houston this week. So if you're joining us, be sure to tell us where you're watching, and also be sure to add any questions or comments into the chat as they come up throughout the presentation. So ransomware is a very hot topic, and we hear about it every day and how every organization should be prepared for a cyber threat. I know at Veeam we do quite a bit of research on this topic just so that we can provide our customers with tips, tricks, how they can stay resilient against the fight against ransomware. But Aaron, can you shed some light on what the current state of ransomware is?
Yeah, sure. Thanks for that. I picked out there's lots of metrics in our primary research. This is research we do of all organizations, different backup products, different storage infrastructures. And I picked these ones. I mean, you can look at the incidence of ransomware and say it's on the rise. You can get 3 or 4 data points from different organizations on that. So I picked things more specific to backup and recovery because that's what we're interested in. 93% of organizations said the cyber attackers went for the backup repositories. I actually think it's probably 100%, and the 7% were blissfully ignorant, and probably they had an air gap or some kind of immutable storage, and it was safe. So we know that's like a primary attack in order to cripple recovery. Those that relied on paying ransom, if your organization has a policy that says they could pay the ransom, is not very reliable. Only 1 in 4 organizations got their data back. So you need to be able to recover from secure backup. So that's one of the key themes today. But it's not just about being able to recover, it's can you do it in a timely manner? And we see here that only 32% of organizations reported the ability to recover 50 server site within a week, which we think is too low, and it's to do with the complexities of recovering from ransomware. But we definitely want to improve that. We're on a mission for it. We got a couple of principles we talk about, and everybody's talking about this, but I think zero trust principles need to be in everyday lives, right? Do not trust a phone call from anyone saying, hey, you're staying at the hotel, can we have your credit card details? Your credit card didn't go through. Your email could have been compromised. Someone sees your hotel booking and they're trying to, these are the kind of things in our personal life. Well, it's taking that same kind of idea to all our products that manage our environment and all our applications, all the ways our systems are used, and saying, let's assume there's a breach and that someone is inside the organization. So we're going to configure it in such a way to minimize the spread and the impact of an attack. Make sure everybody is explicitly verified. using things like MFA, and everybody's got just the privileges they need, maybe even privileges just for a specific period of time to do what they need to do and nothing more. If we focus that on backup storage, and why we wanted to get together with Scality today is, we think it's really important to have separation from the backup software and the backup storage, separate security contexts, different level, security capabilities that in both that can make sure you're even more protected and you've got lower risk. You can have multiple resilience zones of data in different places and offsite, and that data is immutable. Those are some of these that are kind of like the slam dunk things you've got to get done, and you're going to be in a better position. And then one more, I think, slide from me, I think, on the research. This was just, we were asking organizations about change, and is the cyber threat driving change? And we see it is. And we asked them what are some top reasons they were going to change. And it's kind of strange. Reliability made a recurrence of importance. We think that's to do with the fact that data is now in so many different places. It kind of was all settled. It was on virtualization and it became super reliable. So people wanted different things, but now they want reliability because it's in this cloud, it's in that cloud, it's in this hypervisor, it's in another one, it's in SaaS, it's in a lot of different places. So that's kind of an interesting fact. But then I saw on the chart here, you can see like some organizations are wanting data protection as software only with separate backup hardware, and others want to kind of buy into an all-in-one kind of system. And I think there's some interest in there. I think customers are looking for doing something more simple.
Yeah, those are all. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Aaron.
That's all right. Well, they want to have the security, but they don't want it to add complexity. So we're going to discuss really, can we solve these different challenges that that organizations are talking about?
Yeah, I was going to say those are all very good points. And, with the continued evolution of ransomware getting more sophisticated, it's more important than ever to have a strategy in place. And we're seeing, ransomware attacking these organizations across industries. But are there certain industries or, sections that are impacted more, or you're seeing more of an effect of ransomware in certain areas?
Yes, Kirsten. According to the latest FBI internal crime report, this is the list of most of the impacted industries. No surprises, what are the top one? Healthcare and manufacturing. By the numbers, this is the scary part. By the numbers, the Internet Crime Complaint Center received more than 2,800 complaints identified as ransomware that caused adjusted losses of nearly 60 million in 2023. So that was only last year. If you go to the next one, every single one of those industries, as you guys probably already know, see data as critical and valuable to their business. But that comes with a challenge. They want, is security. It comes with few challenges in there. These challenges are security. They want fast access for information by application. And at the same time, they want all that at a lower cost. So this is why companies across all those different industries are utilizing Scality, because we provide a software or appliance like what Aaron mentioned before that deploy in their data centers to create the storage infrastructure for backup, like Veeam, for their Veeam backups, and their own structured data. So we provide that security, we provide that performance, and we do all that at a lower cost.
Yeah, since we first sort of met like a year ago, Candida, I think you mentioned to me that these are some of those industries there, like healthcare and finance, the ones with the biggest impacts are some of the ones where you're being successful. And I think that must be because you're giving them that security that they're after, right? And you're giving them in a form factor, an easy way to acquire, implement, and have the right performance and security. You're delivering for those industries.
100%. And the reason is, so when I have conversations with partners, when I have a conversation with customers, Kirsten, if you go to the next one, they always ask, and I'm pretty sure, Aaron, they also ask you the same question. So what are the things that I have to do in order to have a resilience environment? The situation is, as you mentioned, it's not if it's going to happen, it's when it's going to happen. So we understand that there's a risk, but where is your infrastructure right now? Can you, if something happens to you, are you ready? Do you have what is in place to be able to be resilient? So my first thing that we tell them is, for ransomware protection, the first and most necessary step is to invest on an immutable backup storage solution, because immutability provides that baseline of defense that they need, so no bad actor will be able to delete or modify their data. Both of our products are immutable. However, we are convinced that immutability is not enough. Not because you're immutable, that makes you unbreakable. So you need to go further to become true cyber resilient. So for that reason, we deliver a powerful combination of capabilities that we call the Core 5, that provides the 5 levels of cyber resilience against malicious attacks on your Veeam backup data. And to go into that, Aaron, so, in those 5, we believe that everything starts at the API level. So you need to have a set of features that makes data immutable at the top level of the stack, where you have Veeam, where you have that application that's trying to access the data on the storage system. So we do that with the industry standard way for immutability, that is Object Lock API. So that is the modern way for you to achieve immutability. But that is not enough. Then you have to go at the data level. Your storage needs to have mechanism to protect the data, the actual data as it's sent over the network. So we do that by encrypting at rest. We do that by encrypting in flight. We are a software solution. So you want to use encrypted drive, you can do that. But we expand that also from the operations perspective. We have multi-factor authentication. We have automated firewalls rules and other features that allows you to be protected. The third level is at the storage level. You need a mid-level protocols that protect data from being modified by unauthorized actors. We do that by having a completely distributed erasure coding architecture that protects your data locally across the disk and protects your data across the cluster if you have multiple servers. So you get a completely dual protection. Then customer ask me, what about DR? Is everything about DR? Of course, remember, Veeam and Scality, we always talk about the 3-2-1-1-0 architecture. So in a geo level, you need to have the ability to be able to deploy multiple copies of your backup data across different data centers, across different locations. We do have the capabilities of being able to replicate data in a synchronous model, but we also can do it in a synchronous. So it provides you a 0 RTO and 0 RPO. And then the last one, the architecture level. This one is when things get, I think, way more interesting. So we put protections in place to stop super users from attacking and ensuring the data doesn't get overwritten. We do this by making the operating system very secure and limiting the highest level of access. So no root access. We lock that operating system so no bad actor will be able to get in there. So if you're looking for a new storage solution for your Veeam backup, if you're looking at your current storage solution, you're doing your internal auditing, make sure that it has the above capabilities if you want to achieve complete cyber resiliency.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love this graph, and it's really important too to note because you have multiple levels of resiliency because there's not only just one layer, it's multiple layers. And that's what we've been hearing. That's what industry experts like yourself have been telling us. So it's very good to, put it all out there and see it in this beautiful slide that we have going on here. Before we go to the next slide, let's check out the map and see how it's been populated. So in North America, we have Minnesota, Utah, and Ontario, Canada. I just was in Canada last week. I love my Canadians. Then we have If
I
we go
started.
all,
I did that. I was in Canada for a couple of weeks. I started saying A at the end of it. I was like, this is catching.
yeah, we love Canada. I've been saying it wrong too, which is perfect. If we go to Europe, we have the United Kingdom and Italy. And then if we go to South America, we have Argentina joining us. South Africa just came in as well. So thank you guys for joining all over the world. We love to see where you guys are coming from. So you still have some time. Make sure you drop your location in the map as well. Okay, let's get back to it.
And by the way, I'm going to be in Italy in May, so I can't wait for that vacation in the northern region of it. Anyhow, got excited there for a bit looking at that map.
Oh, yeah.
So one of the things that you mentioned, Aaron, when you were talking about, when we were talking about the industry, what's happening and so on, you mentioned the customers. So customers, and I completely agree with you. Customers right now are looking for three things. Besides the security and the performance at a lower cost that I mentioned before, but there are three things they are looking for. They're looking for security because they have to make sure that those Veeam backups data are secure. They're looking for efficiency because they want to be able to have the flexibility or start small and then grow, so scale out without having any limitations in terms of performance. They want fast backup and fast restores, and they want all that at a lower cost. And they want simplicity. I think this is the year of simplicity. They want to be able to have a solution that they don't have to spend hours and hours and hours on managing that solution. A solution that provides that easy configuration with Veeam Backup, start backing up their data, and when they need to restore, data is restored. And that's all they're looking for, especially in the world of AI. When you think about this, think about efficiency. So those are the three things that we believe and we provide to our customer: security, efficiency, and simplicity.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, I think, the previous slide with the different layers, you've got something that installs simply out of the box, the operating system secure, you've got all the policies and procedures in place to protect the data and make it immutable, and the APIs and things that you have, they're also secure. I mean, you kind of got everything. And I imagine, like us, you can also integrate that into security tools to get, and syslog, and make sure that everybody's got full visibility, not only of the Veeam backup software, but also our Tesker as the storage platform.
Yes, and also with Veeam, we have API integrations to make it simple for the Veeam backup user. If they need to know what is the capacity of that backup, they don't have to call their storage person. They don't have to do that anymore. They will be able to see that within that client, that Veeam backup client. So actually, simplicity.
Yeah, you guys, you configured with the integration with our latest API so that we can get that kind of information, which is brilliant. Brilliant, love it.
Exactly. And then you also mentioned the options. If you go to the next one, Kirsten, the options about customers these days. You have a mix of customers. You have customers that wants to have deployment options. They don't want to get locked in. They want to do what they want to do. So, and that comes back to the flexibility that we talked about. So we have some customers that are looking for storage software solution. They want to install it on their own Linux standard x86 servers. They have relationships like the Dells, the HPE, the Cisco, Supermicro, etc. But that's what they want. Then you have other customers that they're just looking for a hardware appliance. That's all they want. They tell me, Candida, this is just give me a hardware solution. That's all they want. So you have the ones they want a software option. You have the other ones they have an appliance. So here at Scality, we provide options. If you want a software storage appliance that you can run on any server that you want to run it, we support that. If you want a hardware storage appliance for Veeam backups, we have it. If you're looking for a VM option for testing and development, we do that as well. So we provide those options to our customers.
Yeah, these are the things. I think how we got in contact, wasn't it? I watched your Veeam On presentation from last year, and I got in touch, and we started chatting about this stuff. And I loved the options, and you gave me a sneak preview that you were building a hardware appliance as well, and I like that because some customers just want that, something that's easy to buy, easy to plug in, and it's secure out of the box. But but like you say, you've got different environments. You can have it for testing and development, but you can also have that if that in that format. But I think what also excited me when we first started talking was just some of the ease of configuration. You don't have some of the kind of limitations that other solutions might have, and you had also like amazing performance on things like instant recovery in parallel. So those were all the things I was very excited about, and why I've been wanting to do this this live stream for some time.
Definitely. Oh, yeah. So this is, how I call it? I call it the dirty little secret. So Kirsten, if you go to the next one, tell me, Aaron, how many times we have conversations with customers or some of our partners that tell us that, there are customers that are complaining about their backup storage. They're having throughput issues. We have customers that say the restores are slow. There are customers that are consuming more storage than expected. So we have those calls. We're having conversations with partners and customers that those are the issues that they're currently having. But the situation is that without a specific metadata, this is what people don't tell them, that without a specific metadata optimization, classical object storage can be slow for managing Veeam data lifecycle. So here at Scality, we have developed a specific optimization for Veeam use cases, and there are 3 of them. The first one, is when you use a Scality with Veeam 12, there's no more needs to do active full or synthetic full backups. You don't have to do that anymore. So what does that mean? By not doing active full, you will be able to reduce the load of your production storage. By not doing synthetic full, you will be able to reduce the load of your backup storage. So now, no active full, reduce load of production, no synthetic full, reduce backup storage. So backups on Scality behave just as forever incremental. So that's number 1. Number 2, Scality has no limitation with small blocks. Or DNA came for small files. With us, you can use us for big file, a big block, a large block, a small block. We don't really care. Other storage solutions require Veeam to be configured utilizing 4 megabytes block size. We don't require that. We are good with 1 megabyte block size, which is way more efficient in terms of storage. So for example, Aaron, if you have a customer that has 100 VMs, at a 300 gigabytes each size-wise with a 30 days retention and a 5% daily change rate, with the Scality, the storage will be around 73.5 terabytes. With other solutions, it's going to be 117 terabytes. So we already save you day one 60% of storage right there, day one.
That's critical, right? Because people they're buying this, they wanted to buy it. Maybe they want to buy it simple, and in a plans, they want it to be predictable. No one wants to, if you've ever done it, if you've ever bought solutions from hardware and software vendors, and then you have to go back to your finance team and ask for more money, that's like a really bad situation to be put in, right? Nobody wants to be in that position. So we're going to give people that predictability. And I've seen this debate. I think 2 years ago, we had some Veeam internal training, and I was still like reasonably new, and there must have been a whole hour's training on like block size and object storage. And, there's like some people want you to go to bigger block sizes for better performance, but it comes at an incremental capacity problem, which is maybe the bigger problem. But here you've got the performance at the Veeam recommended block size, and therefore you get the really great storage capacity too.
Yes. And don't forget,
they can have their cake and they can eat it, right? They can have
there you go. And do not forget about performance. So we can scale without reducing performance. That is super important. So for people that are listening to, if they're partners, if they're customer, being customer, please have this conversation with your storage vendor. Trust me on this one. If you're asking yourself why my throughput are slow, if you're asking yourself why my restores are slow, why I'm having throughput issues, why I'm consuming more storage than expected, it's because of the three things I just mentioning here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's just jump to the map real quick before we, close out. I know we have a couple more slides left. So in North America, we have California. In Europe, we have Portugal. In Africa, we added Senegal. And in Asia, India has joined us as well. So awesome. I mean, Asia Pacific area region. Sorry if I mispronounced that too. So awesome. Cool. So I know we're talking a lot about Scality and Veeam together, but what type of opportunities does Veeam and Scality provide to our joint customers?
So yes, so we talked about some of the great things the backup provides, the Veeam backup provides. Veeam is the market leader in backups. That's the reality. Then you add that immutability and those core 5 features that Scality provides. So it's the best storage solution and backup solution when you guys are looking for fast backup, fast restore. You want to be cyber resilient and you want all that at a lower cost. So we work very closely. You can see how Aaron and I work closely. Veeam, we have like many relationships across Veeam. We have those APIs, integrations with some of their products. We can be the performance tier, that capacity tier, that immutability, that immutable copy, that long-term retention for your 3-2-1-1 architecture.
Yeah, I love it. It's good to have friends in the playground, I always say.
And we have customers, not only that, going back to Aaron, where he comes from, we have we have many customers.
Except that box behind me here, this is a Man United box. I'll let you have Tottenham.
I know I'm messing with you. So we have many customers worldwide utilizing both of our solutions to store their backup data to be cyber resilient. One of our customers is one of the top Premier League clubs. They are Tottenham. In here, they are one of our backups. They're utilizing us to store their Veeam data. They have taken the best of both worlds. They have been doing this efficient. So they're using Scality to store their Veeam data. They have created this architecture that provides that cyber resilience, but at the same time, they're not only using Scality for backup. They have taken the best of both worlds. They have been able to consolidate within a silo. So they're using us for their Veeam. They're using us to store their medical records. They're using us to store their CCTV cameras. So complete efficiency by doing data consolidation and being able to provide the data being available from anywhere, anytime, and being able to be completely cyber resilient. I don't know, Aaron, you want to add something here?
No, apart from being a top Premier League club, they've got one of the most modern and newest stadiums, right? Which has got a lot of recognition for how great the experience is, and it also hosts NFL games as well, right? And gives people that great experience. But it's great to know that everything is there from a security and delivering the service to the customers. So that's a brilliant use case. Love it.
And something that is super, I know that we have, large customers, but I want to make sure that for folks that are listening, that maybe they are not in the high terabytes and high petabytes, you can start with us from 50 TB all the way to the high petabyte. You can start with us with one server and then grow from there. So we don't only support the high consuming petabytes customer, but also the small ones as well, the smaller ones as well.
Awesome.
Love it.
Yeah, that was very insightful. I feel like I learned so much about Scality and Veeam's partnership throughout this whole session that we've had. So I hope that, everybody, want to thank everybody for joining us today. Before we go, On April 18th, we have another Tech Bites. We'll be joined with Exagrid talking object storage with Veeam and Exagrid. We also want to remind you that Veeam On is coming up shortly here. So Veeam On 2024 in Fort Lauderdale, Florida from June 3rd through the 5th. If you haven't already, be sure to register online at veeamon.com. And I just want to say thanks, Candida, for taking the time today to join us on our call. Thank you, Aaron, so much.
And thank you, Kirsten, for being such a great host.
Thank you, Kirsten. And just to show, Kirsten, if you go to the last slide, please, if you guys want to test this, if you guys want to see it in action, what we are talking about with Veeam 12 and Scality, please download our Testcat free trial. Download it. It has all the capabilities that we mentioned. Downloaded it. Aaron did it. It took him. He can tell you it's easy. If you have a VM environment, it's an OVA. Set it up with your Veeam, and you will be able to test it and see the power of both solutions.
Put it into my VM environment, configured it, switched it on, did a backup, did an instant restore. It was minutes. It was fabulous.
Yeah, we love a free trial. I love when I get things for free, especially when you're, thinking about buying, storage, or even with Veeam, we offer our community editions as well. So be sure to check out that free trial to get started. And I want to thank everybody also on the back end, Jeff and Felicia, for helping us coordinate this Tech Bites today. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their day. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.